In this section, we're going to talk a little bit about supply and demand and how that supply and demand in the market influences both price levels and eventually support and resistance levels. So if you've studied any amount of economics, even in grade school, you know that supply and demand is what drives the overall economy. What people are willing to pay and what people are willing to sell things for creates the price point of pretty much every commodity, from milk to oranges and even to, in our case, tickers and prices of stocks. So what we need to accept is that the market is in a perpetual balance. It is always at a perfect balance between what people are willing to pay and what people are willing to sell for at any given moment. If you look at a price of a stock, whatever that price is in the very moment is the absolute truth, and that's the only thing that matters. Always, however, you have both buyers and sellers on one side, and they are chasing a theoretical price. Buyers might believe that the stock is worth much more than the current price. Therefore, the demand is going to be there, pushing the price up, perhaps meeting their expectations, but eventually sellers are going to believe that that price is overvalued and that the price of the stock is actually less than it is currently. Therefore, they are going to sell and try and get a profit before the price goes back down. So both buyers and sellers are chasing the theoretical price that they have. However, the market's true price, whatever the price is in the moment, is the actual true price that we will use to create our areas of support and resistance, because we will come back to these prices. We will see them again and again and again, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But these repetitive experiences of particular price levels create support and resistance lines.